Yo, what up, everybody?
Hi.
How we doing?
We're done. I need to redo the intro.
I know, I've been waiting.
I keep forgetting with our new intro song.
I know. Certain somebody might be looking out for it.
I know it's probably and a certain someone is dropping the ball. This is all my fault.
Raj
This has
Door Guy,
nothing to
what's
do with
up?
Tex.
Scott, what's
Hi.
going on? Amber Lynn, what's up?
I miss all your
Crazy
little
Rod.
faces.
Kathy GG, what up?
I feel like I haven't done this in a really long time, and I only missed one episode.
It does feel like forever. How's jail and rehab?
It's going really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's arts and crafts, there's
I am
journaling.
curious. What's the withdrawal symptoms like for lidocaine patches?
It's been really rough, Tex.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of
What's that?
sleepless nights,
Political tacos,
cold sweats,
cold sweats. Okay.
yeah, nightmares,
Do they give you anything
migraines.
for that?
Huh?
Do they give you any like medication for that? We
Oragel.
were just talking about Sea Bunny.
We were just talking about you. Oragel. It's the only other thing I could think of, like off the top of my head, that had to do with like numbing. Oragel. We were talking. You're so brave, Kat. I know. You know,
There he is.
I'm a warrior. Like
Kelly.
I want to share my struggles with all of you.
You're
We were talking
amazing,
about you because I
Sea Bunny,
haven't
that's
done the
why.
new intro.
It's because she's amazing. That's why we were talking about her.
That too. That too. So
let's talk the big news because that's what is going on today. As a lot of you guys know, our
let's talk about the news. I'm just
our
joking.
president is the worst general manager of all times and got a horrible trade done. We traded the
Merchant of Death.
That's
a name, man.
which he was conspiring to kill Americans, and is a weapons dealer to help kill Americans. For somebody that decided to carry CBD in a country where it's illegal.
Was it CBD or was it? I thought it was weed.
It's like CBD weed. They like it's like both is what they keep saying. So I don't know. Either way, it's illegal.
Oh, okay.
Blue Whiplash.
Good.
So Potato really nailed it today.
Yeah.
So, Kat, what's your thoughts?
I'm not going to pretend to act like it would be an easy choice to exchange any American citizen for anybody else. I could not imagine seriously having to make that choice and be like, which one's more important? Like, that's weird. Like, it's just weird. Like, this whole prisoner exchange thing to me is weird in general. But
hey, Heather,
I feel that
Joe Biden signed off on that deal.
Yeah. I feel that, like, if you're going to go to a different country and you're going to be there for a period of time, you should know the laws and where you're going, whether you like the laws or not. Laws are laws. Here in Michigan, you can just openly have that on you. In a different state, you would be arrested for it. It's different within your own country. So I feel like you would look into that, right? Like, am I allowed to have this here? What are the laws? What are the rules? What are the regulations? She failed to do that, to educate herself, and then went over there and broke the law. Whether you agree with that or not, now I don't think that we should have left a U.S. soldier there.
Bingo.
For a professional basketball player.
Now,
and I get that sounds harsh, but like prisoner exchange in general is harsh, right? Like that's a harsh
she absolutely knew
thing to do. Oh, she had worked in Russia before.
Yeah, okay. She played ball there.
And now what I don't know is like, what did this soldier do? Like, why is he being held?
Well, apparently he's
that I don't know.
Bogus charges too. But from what the press secretary today said it was Brittany Griner for Victor Bout, the guy, the merchant, or nobody. So
okay, so he wasn't an option in the deal.
Correct. And they knew this. They knew that we had to get Brittany Griner back because that's what all of our
Yeah.
Tex is about. Getting celebrities back, not people that serve our country. Getting professional athletes back instead of people that serve our country. Um,
But it wasn't an option. See, I didn't know that. So that actually does change my opinion on it.
okay, to what?
If he wasn't an option, if this was the only deal, I understand how dangerous this guy is.
Mhm.
I do, but how do you say no, leave her there? Like, what were her conditions? What were they horrible conditions that she was in? Could she have
No,
served the
she was
time
in
and
like
been
a
fine?
she was in a like minimum security kind of deal.
And what was her sentence?
It was 9 years.
Yeah, no, sorry, not worth the trade at all. Yeah, I
Because
guess
here's the
I'm
thing, like,
staying on it, and I know that I feel like that sounds so horrible.
what if, and this very well could happen, because you think this guy just
Mhm.
loves America now? No, he wants to still kill Americans.
Well, yeah,
So now, whose blood is it going to be on? Whose blood is going to be on the hands of who, if and when he kills American people because of this trade?
she was in a labor camp. Was she in a labor camp?
She initially started one, and then they moved her to a minimum security. I mean, they do labor all. That's how they treat their prisoners in general.
Yeah. I'm still going with, like, if you're gonna go over to a different country, you need to know the rules.
Oh, I 100% agree with that.
You know, like, as someone, like, I'm a big pot enthusiast, like, I think it's great. But when I go to different states, I look up and see what their laws are before I go there. You know, you're not supposed to have it on airplanes. So if you're bringing it on like, you're gonna get a punishment. I'm it's the law. Whether you like it or not, it's the law. If you don't like it, then hopefully
Yeah,
they
do I
change
agree
it
with like
within
the
their own
sentencing?
country. No, I don't agree with it, but
Do
it
I
is
agree
in
with the
fact the law.
sentencing? No, I don't agree with the sentencing at all.
No.
But mind you, like things are different here compared to there. I
Yeah.
mean, it's different culture. They treat prisoners different. Um, who are we to say? But I guarantee Victor Bout was probably being treated better here.
Well, that I mean, and that's the thing. It's not like he was being like you let a very dangerous human being go that's a threat to us. And that makes me a little uncomfy. But like everything with politics makes me a little uncomfy right now. So like,
Yeah, just it's weird. Um, it's very weird. I personally would have rather not have made the deal. In all honesty,
yeah.
um, mind you, this is somebody that has like talked about how racist our country is. Um, I'm not a fan of kneeling for the
Still
flag
an
and the
American
anthem.
citizen though, and it falls within our rights to do. Like that's what's great about being
Well, technically
an
not, because we're
American.
technically not supposed to negotiate with terrorists. And what have we been calling Vladimir Putin and the Russian government?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what I
No,
thought.
I mean like her opinion. Like I don't like her opinion on our country. I think it's horrible, but it
Well,
is
but
her.
then like you cry to the same country that you were just bashing to come and
Yes.
rescue you because you
Yeah.
can't handle shit when you should have known the rules over simple weed.
Maybe it will change her perspective of her country a little bit.
Hopefully, it better. Like in all honesty, like because I mean, if you want to go racial, the Marine is
Right.
white, and she's black. So like, you know, it would have been up in arms if we would have saved the Marine and not her.
Yeah, if it was an option, I
Right.
I I think it would have been bad no matter what. Like I said, that kind of decision is like damned if you do, damned if you
Oh,
don't.
sure,
But I
sure.
don't think that we should negotiate with terrorists in general. And
Right.
she knew the rules, she knew the law. She went over there, she broke the law. We can get into semantics on how horrible they treat their prisoners, but that's not the point.
No, because
It's
it's not
really
our
not,
country.
and especially if she was over there before, she knew, what it was like over there, and I'm not saying that she deserves 9 years. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that at all whatsoever.
Well,
But
that's what she was over there for, was for business, which is basketball.
right.
Because it was in the off season of the WNBA, and WNBA doesn't make like NBA stars do, so they got to supplement their income in the off season, and they go over season play.
Okay.
And so that's why it's very common, and she's been doing it for several years because it's common for them. So she had been in and out of Russia and all these other countries.
Mhm.
I mean, what if it was a country that wouldn't negotiate with us, and she just had to suffer 9 years there,
Right.
like China.
But the only
China
reason
probably
that
wouldn't.
I mean, the only reason that they wanted to do an exchange is because they wanted him back.
Right.
And then, like, my question is, like, why do you want him back so bad?
There's always a reason for
You know, like, you want him back, and he's not. I mean, like, you don't get dubbed the Merchant of Death for nothing. Like,
right.
that's pretty extreme. It's a pretty
Right.
extreme little nickname you got going on there.
That is very extreme.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm bringing up his charges here.
Because I know I saw like a video on Instagram about him, and there was some guy talking about like how dangerous of an arms dealer he was, and
yeah, it was bad. I mean, about
hi cats. I hope you're feeling better.
let me see. Yeah, like you said, when you're when you're given the Merchant of Death as your nickname.
See, AFTC, I agree with you. I feel like if you were doing this the right way, if you're gonna get the Merchant of Death, right? Like, look at it like a trading card game here. As horrible as that sounds. You were going to give you the Merchant of Death, and we're getting back a basketball player. Like, I want the basketball player and the military guy. I want both of them for the Merchant. Like, he couldn't have done that.
No, they said supposedly no. Like, this is what we're told, so who knows really what the truth is.
Right.
Bout is a former Soviet military officer, so military himself, serving 25-year prison sentence in the United States on charges of conspiring to kill Americans, acquire and export anti-aircraft missiles, and provide materials to support terrorist organizations.
Yeah. And we got the girl with weed. Not even like weed, but like CBD weed.
Right.
Okay.
She was arrested on drug smuggling charges at an airport in Moscow. Despite her testimony that she had inadvertently packed the cannabis oil found in her luggage, she was sentenced to 9 years in prison in early August and was moved to penal colony in Moldova. And I don't know what that means for them. Let me look that up too.
That just blows my mind, man. Over some freaking cannabis oil. Like, that's the stuff that you use for just like anxiety and stuff like that. Like, that's not even getting high.
Well,
if it was like CBD oil with a little bit of THC, because they make it with the THC and without the THC. But even the stuff that I have with the THC, there's only like 1% in there. So it's not like she's getting fucked up. That's crazy. 9 years.
Yeah. I mean, but we don't have to like the sentence, but that's their laws.
I mean, I still stand by that. I'm just saying like that's extreme.
I don't agree with it either.
It's weird that she got 9 for CBD and the dude that's trying to like kill everybody only got 25. Like, what?
That just shows how lenient our justice system is.
Hi, Scrappy. Yeah, like 0.3%, 0.1%. That's weird.
So she was sentenced to labor, but it's like very minimal labor. Like,
I don't like labor.
The way that it's described is where was it? I just had it. Russian penal colony. It was for her. So she was initially in like a really harsh one right at the very start that is known for harsh conditions for violent criminals, and then she was moved to barracks and engage in menial labor for symbolic pay. So it was like very little skilled labor that was required. And her first prison was like for harsh, violent criminals.
Yeah.
The second one she moved to wasn't.
I just feel like if the Marine wasn't, and I mean, I don't think it was smart to do an exchange like that. Regardless of the semantics of it.
Yeah, I didn't agree with like even when Obama did the terrorist exchange
Mhm.
For a traitor of our country when he left his base and went AWOL. So don't agree with it
Prisoner
now.
exchange is like the whole conversation makes me uncomfortable because like I hate that that's even a thing. I hate that that's a thing. I hate that we exchange human beings as like power moves. It's gross.
It is very
It's
gross.
gross. Like they're people. Like that's gross.
So the moral of the story, kids, is
Don't bring weed to Russia.
don't bring weed to Russia.
Or I mean, I guess maybe go ahead and do it. We'll come get you. Come bail you out.
Yeah. So yeah. That went on, and
What else happened today, Tex? I slept all day. You know this.
so I came across a story. We better not talk about this. Okay,
What?
we came across a story where an 8-year-old girl.
We talking about the little girl from Texas?
No, she she's from Canada,
Okay.
and she had a massive stroke and died.
We're not supposed to talk about this.
Why?
Because they're listening.
It's a news story.
I'm just fucking with you, Tex.
Oh,
Because you're gonna be talking because it's
so she did get the ouchie.
Mhm.
They're saying that it was on the flu.
Kat dislikes everything today. I do. I'm sorry. I'm a vibe today. I apologize.
It's a fact.
I am sorry. I'm trying.
So
8-year-old girl in Canada contracts influenza.
supposedly
Right.
gets myocarditis,
Mm-hmm.
suffers a massive stroke, and dies at 8.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Seems pretty common.
These days or in general?
Pre-pandemic.
I just feel like it's okay for us to admit that there is a possibility that there are some side effects from this treatment for COVID-19. Any medication that you take, Tylenol, Pepto-Bismol has warnings on the back of it for kidney failure. Lidocaine, oddly enough, like my lidocaine patches, those have a warning. So to sit here and say that like this isn't doing anything to anybody, that's ignorance because everything can do something to somebody, but harshly as it sounds, you weigh out risk versus reward, right? With everything. Like I've got an insanely bad headache, so I'm going to take Tylenol and this could happen, but as long as I kind of stay. So you cannot say that like there's an extreme uptick in myocarditis, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Myocarditis.
It's a bigger deal right now than it's ever been, and especially with the kiddos, and it hasn't been a thing. RSV, like I know here in Michigan, like RSV got horrific this year, and there's high schoolers that are being admitted with RSV. Today, when I picked up my daughter from school, she's like, "Oh my gosh, like half the school's out." And I'm like, "For what?" And she's like, "They've all got the flu. Everyone's, the flu is really bad." So I don't think it's unfair to be like, okay, this little girl, got influenza. Yes, there are deaths from influenza that happen every single year. But why is it horrible to be like, was she vaccinated? I feel like that's a reasonable question. And she was, in fact, vaccinated. I'm not saying that that's the cause, but I'm saying is that it's very untypical for an 8-year-old to suffer from a major heart attack with myocarditis that she didn't have before.
Stroke.
And now she's not here.
It was a stroke.
Just
to be clear.
And I'm sure that her having influenza did do something with that as well. You know what I mean? Like if you've got a bad reaction to the immunization, you've got influenza going on, she's developed myocarditis, like all of these things played a factor in there. So it probably wasn't necessarily only that.
Well, and here's the thing, like if we want
But
to,
that's still like a big factor, and I don't understand why people can't like meet in the middle with that one too. Like it's
and
either you
that's
either have people that are like it's killing everybody and people who are like it doesn't kill anybody, and it's like, okay, let's come here and say maybe it's killing a few. Okay.
here's the thing. If we are going to like truly trust science, then we
Hmm.
have to choose that possibly this thing, this algae,
Right.
could have some major side effects. I mean, like
Yeah.
you were saying, like with Pepto and all that, but think about like all the drug commercials that we see on TV. All of them say like can include death.
Yep.
So to sit there and say like, oh, well, there's no side effects at all to this, like
You
then
can't
you're
say
not
that.
really you're a science denier at that point.
Hmm.
Like you truly are.
Right.
Because every medication
And the same
is
goes the other way around if you're just out there saying that everybody died from getting everybody who got a
oh
vaccine
100%.
died. Like, no, no, they didn't.
No,
Like
like my
most of
parents
my
all got
family
right.
is, my mom is like, God, I think she's getting ready to earn a free sub at this point now. Like, I don't know how many she's had. I pick on her all the time. I'm like, do you get something for free at the end of this? Like, your punch card's getting a little full there, Lori. But like, my daughter is vaccinated and boosted, and she's fine. My mom's doing great. My sister's doing great. So no, it's not everybody, but like you can't deny the fact that this is causing problems. And now I think it's time that we sit down and say, okay, risk versus reward. Like we've done the trial. We were the trial. So now the conversation needs to be had. Is the risk worth is it worth it? Is it
For me,
saving
it's not.
more than it's harming? But now we've got reports saying that it's not. It's not because it's not preventing transmission. So that kind of cuts it down, and then on top of it, people are having bad. I just, I don't know. I think it's just ridiculous that everything has to be like black or white. Like there's no gray anymore. There is no like that. That's the one thing that like I've been a lot more observant of with like me trying to kind of chill out on social media for a while is that the gray area doesn't exist anymore.
No, that's a major problem on all sides of
Hmm.
everything. Um, is the fact that we can't have conversations anymore, and we resort to because of social media just block immediately
Hmm.
when there's some pushback in what we believe instead of
Or
engaging.
you don't want to upset, you know what I mean? Like, oh, well, I don't want to say that because I don't want this political party to get mad at me. And oh, I shouldn't say this because I don't want, my own people to be upset with me or this to be upset with me. And it
Oh, I
just
never
pushes
think
you
that
further.
anyway.
I don't either, but like it pushes you further and further and further. And I feel like that has to be some component of it. Like it doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? Since I've become a little bit more, we laugh at my Instagram every day. Like, it's just crazy to me how many people
Sub dub.
can't be like, okay, well, just because I don't think this or I don't like her opinion on that. Like you have to go from it doesn't matter how many other things that we do agree on. If we disagree on one thing politically, people are like, I'm out. I'm out with, with this person. Or you said that. No, I'm no, you're all the way, you're done.
That's where the extremism comes from on both sides.
And I feel like people don't understand when I like to me, the term extremist doesn't have to mean that you're out there burning the city down, or it's just an extreme way of thinking of black and white thinking that there is no middle ground, that you can't meet in the middle and try to figure things out or have positive conversation or dialogue between people. If you have to stay in an echo chamber of things that are only the way that you think, that's extremist thinking because you're thinking extremely. It doesn't have to be burning places down or
I mean,
making people uncomfortable, carrying guns out in the open. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that anyone is an extremist, because if those people are willing to meet in the middle and have conversations with people, they're not extremists.
yeah, because I mean, I saw it when I first came out, like not anti-Trump, but just kind of against Trump. Like I'm done with the Trump thing
Right.
in general. And so when I came out with that first initial
Hoo-wee.
video, yeah, it was harsh calling them Trump tards, but they proved my point because the second you go against Trump of anything.
Yeah.
Like it could be his policy that you don't agree with, not necessarily
Right.
him in general, just his policy. Like getting rid of the Constitution, that kind of stuff. Like,
but like we talked about this, I have a little bit different of opinion on that. Like now reading it and trying to see it, that could be what he meant by it. That by this happening, that in fact did mean that like these things didn't matter. So like that one I have to like throw away of my angry thing, but like the Twitter drop still happened. Like,
well, there's
that still happened, and he was definitely in the Twitter drop. But I feel like a lot of people just skipped over like 3 posts. Like everybody skipped over like 10 through 13. They're like, oh, we don't need to read that. But let's read all the rest of the stuff about Hunter Biden's penis.
And that is a problem. Like we can't like a sitting president at the end of the day requested for our free speech to be suppressed on Twitter. If you take an R and the D out of the equation, or Trump, Biden, Obama, Bush, whoever, a sitting president, the head of our country, was asking a private company, a publicly traded company at the time, Twitter, to remove posts that citizens here in America posted.
Do we know, like, not that it matters, but I guess it kind of, what do we even know, like, what the posts were that he didn't want?
They didn't give any specifics on any post of anybody.
It's just bizarre to me. Like, I don't, if you're mad at one, you have to be mad at both. Like you do. You can't be furious 100%. At one and then be like, oh, we're gonna skip 10 through 13.
Well, this is the problem that I have on both
sides. Skip on through those ones.
Is that if you truly believe in something, and I've always like from all the Black Lives Matter rallies, the in protest, the women's march, like when Trump first got elected and they did the women's march. Well, there was like women for Trump wanted to join the women's march. They were denied. The gays for Trump wanted to join. They were denied. So like, are you really pro women if you're denying women?
Right.
Because if you're pro women, then that means even women for Trump should join.
Yes.
To be able to join in. But no, when you start like being selective of who and what you include into your beliefs, then you don't fully believe in what you do. So for me, like, I truly do believe in in free speech, and that the government should not be suppressing our free speech at all for under any circumstance.
No circumstances at all whatsoever. So you think that I should be allowed to like post child pornography on Twitter?
That's not speech. That's visual. So that's not speech.
Okay, but what if I just describe in detail?
Yes, that's speech. I may not like it. I don't like it, but you have the right to say it.
Yeah, and there's consequences to saying it. So
I don't like what Kanye West said about Hitler and Jews. He has a right to say it, though.
Okay.
He does. That's free speech.
I know.
But
I struggle with that a lot, and I think that a lot of people struggle with that, and they don't want to say it out loud. Like, of course I struggle with that because I'm not okay with it, right? Like, I don't think it's okay. So it bothers me, but at the same time, like, the facts don't care about my feelings. And yeah, it's horrible.
Where does the line get drawn?
Well, and then you have, community guidelines, right? Exactly. Like the platform wouldn't allow it. So they, you have guidelines. So there's that.
I'm not talking about the platform. I am talking specifically.
No, I get that. But like for my own peace of mind, I know that lots of platforms wouldn't allow it. So it would be removed anyways. But you're right in saying that like everybody has the right to say what they want to say. You can't tell someone like there's consequences to it, but you do have the right to say it.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's cool or not cool or gross or not gross.
That Trump had asked, and it was granted by Twitter, for certain tweets to be removed. That's the U.S. government.
Can we just like talk about Kanye West for a minute, though?
Go for it.
Like, why do Republicans love him all of a sudden? Why is legit, why are people retweeting Kanye West or talking like, yeah, dude's got a point? Like, and I'll admit it, I did one because he made some video and I don't remember what he said. And I was like, yeah, Kanye's a whole vibe now.
My finger.
But we've gotten so much, and this goes into like, as long as you think what I think, it's okay. As long as you think what I think, it's okay. As long as you say those buzzwords for me from your ivory tower as an elite, as a celebrity, as the 1%, which we also claim to not like, unless they say something that we like, right? Like Rosie O'Donnell. I don't like Rosie O'Donnell. I can get behind her being like, the Balenciaga thing wasn't okay. I can get behind Kanye West saying the Balenciaga thing wasn't okay because it wasn't. Like, cool, props to you. You're not completely evil incarnate. Like,
Sure.
But if everything else that this person has said has been so horrific and so horrible, how genuine could they have really been about this? You
True,
know, like you
especially
got
since he was
Kanye
wearing
West who's
that.
over there saying this shit and people are still supporting him, but ignoring, like, dude posted a whole ass swastika
Well, and mind you, he was wearing the Balenciaga mask on
while
that
he was,
Alex Jones thing. So, like, how much?
okay, right here. He was on Alex Jones. I rest my
Wow.
case at this point. Like, come on.
And I'll be fully honest. Like, to watch Alex Jones squirm the way that he did, I was like, that's when you know you've gone off the rails.
When
Like,
you
in all
make Alex
honesty,
Jones uncomfortable,
right?
you need psychiatric care
You need. I have
long
personally never
term.
been like, I know that what's his name, Tony, here in Detroit. He's always said that he voted for Kanye West for president,
No.
and I'm like, you still won't brag about voting at Kanye West now?
Yeah.
But like, no, I like I
He
have
was
never been.
asking if he could still run for president in jail.
Yeah,
Apparently, that's what he went to go talk to the Cheeto about,
yeah.
was being his
Well,
VP.
and he had to be his VP.
Like, why are we letting this dude in public? Like, aren't there like court procedures for this? Like, we're a little bit worried about you, buddy. Maybe you need a nap for
I
like
just don't know how.
30 to 90 days.
In my opinion, like I guess this just goes to show like the fan mentality, because that fan mentality is the only reason why you still support Kanye West. It's
I
just
don't know if
because
it's,
you're a fan of his.
but I don't even know if it's that they're a fan of them at this point, especially when it comes to at least our political party, like what I'm seeing of it. It's not necessarily that they're a fan of him or his music. It's a celebrity using talking points that they agree with. That's it.
True.
That's it.
Which means
Like
you
our
become
whole
a fan.
algorithm destroyed Rosie O'Donnell for months. And now she's awesome
It's funny
because
how
she thinks that
chicken.
the Balenciaga, because she spoke out about Balenciaga and had said, like, not cool, man. Like, gotta keep the kids safe. Not cool. Not cool.
Right.
So, like, cool. I mean, I agree with you. Good on ya. But there are a lot of other people who also think that, who have better moral compasses. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell, I don't really question her morals. I don't know enough about her, but I know 20 grand a month in child support
No,
when she's got more money. Or
200,000 a month.
I thought it's not 20,000.
It's $200,000 a month. He missed a zero. And she's
Do you
worth
realize though that she is now the girl from Gold Digger? Like the whole lyric that he does. Like he's like 18 years, 18 years. You got 4 of your kids, got you for 18 years. And like they have the 4 kids together, the Gold Digger song.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, like, and don't get me wrong, like Missy Rosie is absolutely garbage.
I just think all celebrities are garbage. Like, cool, you agree with me. Like that's kind of cool, but
Yeah, you missed a zero.
I don't like who is the judge in that FOC court? Who are you? Because I know how child support calculations work, brah, and you did something wrong. Because she makes way more money than him, and they have 50-50 custody.
She's worth 1.2 billion. He's worth 400 million. So like 3 times she's worth.
I mean, seems totally legit. Seems like they stayed within the law for sure.
I don't know why somebody with $1.2 billion that's their worth and they're still making that kind of money even needs child support.
Well, because she's gotta
Regardless.
have the extra money for the piano player. You didn't see that? You don't know? So Kim Kardashian pays a professional pianist to come to her home every morning to play Christmas songs on the piano next to the Christmas tree so that her children wake up happy with the Christmas spirit every morning. Yeah. That's a
Wow.
thing. So, I mean, she needs the extra money for that. Like, I don't know why you gotta judge her.
Here, I thought waking up making coffee every morning was something of luxury.
Yeah. Especially like a Keurig. How do you pronounce that? Keurig? Keurig? How do you pronounce it? Keurig?
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, that's fancy. I don't know what I would do. Yeah, Anne-Marie, I'm dead serious. Like it's a thing. You can look it up.
Hey, babe. Babe, will you answer this? They keep calling. I don't know.
You getting prank phone calls?
I don't know. Just answer it.
My kids wake up to Christmas lights. What in the holy purple fuck do kids need a pro piano? A concert pianist, as far. Yeah, I'll look it up. But I just saw it and I was like, that can't be accurate. Like, there's no way. But I mean, these people have like, I don't care money, like beyond Kim Kardashian hires professional piano. Thank you. So Kim Kardashian was trolled for hiring a pianist to wake her kids up with Christmas songs. Alarm clocks in the Kardashian home sound a little different during the holidays. The four kids, the reality, it's that time of year. Oh, there's like a video, or not a video, but like a photo. Oh, there's a glare. So like this is her couch. This is like the Christmas tree, the piano, and there's like a guy sitting at the piano. And it was her post. It's that time of year. Phil the Keys comes over every morning to wake my kids up by playing the piano. The mad morning rush that is happening, it calms their little souls and fills them with beautiful Christmas songs. Bunny, you should not play Kanye. I feel like as soon as we start displaying swastikas, it's game over and you shouldn't get a platform anymore. I'm not saying that he didn't have the right to post what he posted because he did. However,
he's got the right to say it. I mean, companies can always come out and
I love his music. I do. Especially like if I'm going out, if I'm out like at a bar or whatever and like dancing or whatever, like Kanye hits different, man.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could ever spot which song is his and what's not.
Really?
Dead serious.
So there's probably quite a few songs that he does that you like. You just don't know that it's him.
I would never know if it was him or not.
Right.
I mean, so
he's got good music. I do enjoy his music, but like this is also the dude that told y'all he was Jesus a few years ago. Are we really shocked that he's doing this? And some of y'all like actually voted for him for president. Like there are some of you that actually voted for a dude who thinks he's Jesus.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
President.
Oh, there we go. See, I'm not the only one.
What? That you, yeah.
That I wouldn't be able to, like I've heard the song Gold Digger. I had no idea he sang it though.
Yeah, it's him.
That's why when you started singing it or saying it, I'm like, oh, that was him. Like I honestly would have never guessed.
Yeah, it's Yeezy. Your boy, it's your boy Yeezy.
Like, okay, what's the deal with the name? Like I keep seeing like Yee.
Yeah, there's like Ye. There's Yeezy. There's Kanye. I think he went as Big Baby Jesus for a hot second. Yeah, dude, I'm not playing. Hold on. He's certifiably insane. He has been for a really, really long time. Did Kanye West go by Jesus? I know he went by something like that. It's not pulling it up. It's only pulling up all the crap that he did on Twitter. But I could have swore that he went by like Big Baby Jesus or like Big Jesus or something like that. Just for like a little bit. It was a little blip in the Kanye crazy timeline.
So what's the deal with Ye or Yay?
I
or
don't know.
Ye?
That
Where
I
did that
don't
come
know.
from? Like that confuses me whenever I see like a storyline and they're like,
Like
Ye.
there's some celebrities that I know way too much about, but he's not one of them. Yeezus.
Is that where the Ye comes from?
Maybe that is where it came from. Unless Missy just made that up on her own. You should trademark that before Kanye takes it, though.
That's so weird.
Like, Ye is his pronoun.
He is his pronoun. Well, because like I remember
Kanye. So that's where the Ye comes from, is the Y-E. Is he trying to follow Prince? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, it's the last two letters of Kanye. So Ye. So that makes sense. We're just idiots.
Now that's truly what it is from?
Yeah. It's like a nickname.
That's strange.
Yeah. I mean, it's like your name's Conservative Texan, but I call you dipshit. It's just like a nickname.
So, okay, so it is a nickname because some of the stories that I read on him, they're always like Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. So that ain't just a damn nickname if he's formerly known as. That's like his legal.
But he's always formally known as something. He's crazy. We cannot do logic with crazy people. That makes us crazy. We were crazy for a long time. Look at all the crazy people that we just dealt with. And we're like, it's totally fine. Let's keep fucking with the crazy people. You got to leave the crazy people the hell alone. Just let them go be crazy. And don't give them any attention and just leave them be. I think he might have changed it. He does. He keeps changing it.
But why? Just because he's crazy? That's the only...
Yeedolf? I like that. I might start calling him that too. That's nice. That's a nice one. That's why, quote, West was my slave name and Yeezus is my God name, he explained. Seems like a totally rational, normal thought.
Well, Ship, that's what I was thinking, that it was kind of like Prince, but like he like went by the symbol.
I am not saying leave Biden alone. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I am not telling anyone to leave Joe Biden alone.
What are you talking about?
Everyone should bother Joe Biden.
Oh, you said leave crazy. You said leave crazy alone, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's not crazy. He's just old. And he's going on to the other part of his life now, and we need to just let him do that. We need to just let that man go with some dignity, whatever he's got left, which is like none. But
do you know of anybody personally that still supports this man after everything that
I don't know anybody that supported him to begin with, though, Tex.
I do. Like I know, like Tony has said several times to us that he voted for Kanye West. I do know that
I thought you meant Joe Biden.
Prior to the swastika and the Hitler comments, granted, like the Jew comments were still there and they were bad, but you still had people defending him up until the up until everything happened.
But they're only defending that one talking point. They're not defending him in a whole. But there are like Ship said, there are lots of Kanye West supporters, surprisingly. And I don't know how anybody could after the last tweet. Like, okay, cool. Like, I respect your opinion. He says some crazy crap, but like, hey, if you're into a dude that just says crazy shit, like, go follow Kanye West. But like a swastika, like that wasn't enough for you. Now, don't get me wrong. I love when he goes on rants about
his Hitler comments before that wasn't enough for you.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. For me, yes. But I feel like posting an actual swastika, like, hey guys, he wasn't kidding. He wasn't just saying it for this. Like this guy is just insane. And he does things for a reaction. Like you have video of him where he's always like, gotcha, or whatever. Like he reminds me of a certain TikTok creator, actually.
I think
it was the plan all along.
I think he's taking that whole Trump thing where like all press is good press thing to a whole nother level because
Whole nother level.
this is not good press, bro. Like
No.
this is the bad press that's like actual bad press. Like it's not good.
Yeah. I feel like once you sympathize with Adolf Hitler and start posting swastikas, it's going to be really hard to come back from that.
Yeah.
Ever. And you shouldn't be able to come back from it at all. But like I see why people started like following him, especially if you didn't really know like all that is crazy about Kanye. He's got very valid talking points on things that I do agree with him on. Like he talks a lot about why underage girls in Hollywood are encouraged and allowed to date older men. That they knew that, like, I think it was one of the Kardashians was underage and dating somebody who wasn't. He's like, how the hell was that okay? He's very against like I like that he's pro-life. I'm pro-life as well. Cool. Like there are things that I agree with him on. But bro, you like Hitler and you're like posting swastikas. Like we can't be friends just because we're both pro-life. Like, yeah, like Nazi sympathizers is like a big fuck no. Like can't be friends. I can't roll with you
at all.
Because even if he says something so beautifully eloquent tomorrow says some like earth-shattering deep shit, he's still sympathized with Nazis, guys. It doesn't really matter what comes out of his mouth going forward.
How do you praise that guy? Like I
don't know.
Like I do know somebody on TikTok that did at one point that said that kind of the same thing that now he's...
Dude, no, there's a lot of people like there's a weird conspiracy theory regarding Hitler and how he was like the good guy.
Well, this was Misfit Patriot that like
oh Lord that. I can't go one damn podcast.
I was trying, but you kept like going way farther with it. I'm like, no, I'm talking about somebody specific.
But listen, are you ready for this? Misfit Patriot, I got sent a video the other day and he had a valid fucking point. Right? So we can use this text because this falls right into what I'm trying to explain to people, right?
Can we
so Misfit Patriot posted a video. Yeah, Nick Cannon. Like that. Nick Cannon's he's got like a breeding kink, I read.
Who?
Nick Cannon. He was married to Mariah Carey. He's got like 400 babies that he's had this year. But like he's a good example. Like he came out and said something about what was it? About Kanye, actually, where he was like, dude, like he's fucking crazy. Like, why are you guys surprised that he's saying crazy stuff? And like, this isn't okay. And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, wow, you're making so many good points, but like, you think that like sex in front of kids is dirty talk and a kink. So like, I don't care that you got a good point.
True.
And that's what I mean with Kanye West. Like there is a line in the sand for me and you don't come back after that. I don't care if I agree with you on everything else in the entire world. And I think that you're funny. And even if I do like you, you start sympathizing with pedos and Nazis, we can't chill. We can't chill. Because that's like hate just to hate. Mariah Carey can't sing anymore.
But wasn't his contracts like $1 billion or something like that?
Whose?
Kanye West? Because like Bunny's saying that, claiming the easiest way to get out of contracts without having to owe them any money.
Who? Kanye?
Yeah.
Was to post a swastika? Was it worth it, bro?
No, like he started his path like of showing like how to get out of like because that's how he got out of the Adidas thing, which I believe was like $1 billion.
Yeah, but now Adidas is partnering with Balenciaga, which is weird.
So they condemn Kanye for what he said, but they partner up with.
Yeah, child exploitation just isn't a hard no for some people. Tex. Like it's just not.
The fact
it's not, or they make excuses for it. And like it's my one line in the fucking sand, and I'm very dead ass about it. Like if I think that you're being fake about it, I'm gonna call you the fuck out for being fake about it. Don't say some weird shit. People need to stop saying weird shit. Even if you think that weird shit, like bottle that up, man.
This is so weird. This is
that's why weird. Like I'm just taking the L. Like as a human being who lives in America, I'm looking around, I am dissatisfied. I think like on all ends. I can't even figure out like what I'm more mad about anymore these days on both political aspects, Night Honey, on really anything in general. So I think like I'm just gonna chill until like Jesus comes. I can't do anything about this. Like I don't know what we're supposed to do about it anymore. I don't know how to make an impact anymore. I don't know how to make change with certain things. And I feel like the answers are really, really simple to a lot of the problems that we have, but we're so against each other that we can't do it.
It's true. That's very true.
And there's no gray area. You can't fix anything because you're just always going to be arguing.
No, and that's true because like Rosie O'Donnell, right? A lot of people won't agree with her just because they don't like her on like the Balenciaga thing. But at the end of the day, what she said was true. Like children are off limits, and this should be something that like, okay, I don't like you for all this other shit, but yeah, I can unite. Let's figure out how to fix it. I'll join.
Not if you're posting swastikas.
True. No.
Because I don't want to fight the fight with you.
I'm not talking about Kanye.
Right. No, I know.
About Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, we saw this during the lockdowns in New York City, where we had the Black Lives Matter protesting, and we saw the Trump supporters protesting, and they came and met in the middle of the bridge to get off of lockdowns. They disagree on everything else, but we can come together and at least get lockdowns lifted up. Then we can go back to disagreeing but this is, and it provided true change.
No, I loved that moment. I loved that moment so much. And that's why I really liked the way that they did the We Want the Names rally. They weren't going to counter protest.
Right.
Like they didn't even set up by where it was, but it would be more people. You can't tell me that someone who is pro-choice cannot be like for save the children. Like I said, just because I don't agree with it, just because I don't think it's right, like those come from my morals that are based around faith.
That shouldn't be a pro-choice thing because they're born.
No, but like they did the rally, the Save the Children rally at a woman's like pro-choice thing. And I had seen some videos going around like, oh, that's real funny. They're pro-choice, but they can't be Save the Children. Yes, they can. The reason that you believe that abortion is wrong and immoral and unforgivable is based on your faith, your belief. Not everybody believes the same thing as you. And I think it's hard for me to not understand how people don't think that, for sure. Like I don't understand how you can't think that, but it doesn't mean that they can't help with this. This doesn't have anything to do with abortion. So why can't we come? We don't agree on abortion. We don't agree on gun control. We don't agree on this. We don't agree on this. Can we at least agree that like adults shouldn't be having sex with kids? I feel like we should all be able to agree on this. And I feel like we should all be able to stand up together and be like, hey, knock it off. Go through all like the school stuff. I don't think it's bad. Me and you I love what my daughter's school is doing with Pride. I love what a few of the schools are doing with LGBTQ because it does need to be taught in schools. It can't be one extreme or the other. Like if we want this to be normalized, if we want this to not be judged, but it's always going to be because you have people who have their morals based in faith. There's always going to be assholes.
But when is straight stuff talked about?
Is because being heterosexual is universally accepted.
Well, if you want it to be normal, then why do you discuss it so much?
Because it's not right now because it's so, but like as in normalized, what I mean is why is it that most of go to like kindergarten, right? We'll go kindergarten level. Why are most of the stories that are read to our kids traditionally like based around like a white middle American Christian like little family unit? I'm not saying make the focus the sexuality because it's a problem to me. And that's what a lot of schools I feel like are screwing up there is that they're making it the focus of the book.
I think we're reading too much into this where kids don't care.
I don't, but kids could, I think it's still good for kids to be told stories, especially when they're younger, where Jimmy has 2 moms and Jake has 2 dads. That should be in books and stories with school. There should be more representation of the Black community, the Asian community, the gay community. If you're going to be reading these stories, you can't have them be all white, heterosexual families for these kids, because then that's what they think is normal.
I'm with Scrappy.
I don't want them talking about sexuality either at all. Like, I don't want them getting into, well, why? Well, this. No, Jimmy has 2 moms. End of discussion. Like, Allie has a mom and a dad. Nobody asks why. The same thing should be applied to like Jimmy, who has 2 moms. But by avoiding it, by not talking about it at all, it makes heterosexuality more normal than homosexuality or queer lifestyle. It makes this one more normal than this one, so we won't be able to normalize. If you avoid talking about it at all, you can never normalize it. And then you're always going to have extremists on both sides that are like, don't talk about it at all, or let's talk about BDSM in middle school with these kids. Like, you just had a freaking dean of a school that was handing around dildos and butt plugs to his class.
Let me put it to you this way.
That's an extreme. But what I'm saying is, what is the problem with having stories that have...
Because we don't talk about somebody having 2 moms or 2 dads either, but it happens. And it's because
it does happen.
Because society has just made it normal without having to even talk about it. That somebody can go there, wait a minute. I have 2 mommies and 2 daddies because I have a stepmom and I got a stepdad. We don't talk about it. It just happens.
Right.
It used to be very uncommon at the time.
It did.
As time progressed, without having to have any of that in books of any sort, we turned something that was very uncommon into common by just moving on with life instead of making it a big deal.
Okay, but I still have an issue with most of the people that my kids are seeing, watching, learning about, be just this box of what you're supposed to be. I don't like that either. I think it sets up weird expectations. I think it makes kids feel like they're not normal because they're not represented anywhere.
How many times in kindergarten have you ever looked at a book, whether it been even an Indian book or any type of book, and thought about race?
Me, never.
Okay. I grew up in the hood where I was the minority.
But what I'm saying is, but like, how is my idea going to hurt?
Came up in any kindergarten.
But how does my idea hurt? It doesn't hurt.
Well, on the sexuality part, I don't care to have it. Like, why does it?
But they're not talking about. I didn't say anything about talking about sexuality.
So you don't think kindergartners are going to go, oh, look, it's 2 dads. What's that mean? And then now you have to talk about it.
No, you don't.
Okay.
They have 2 dads.
Okay. Well, why not 2 dads and 2 moms? Like, where do you draw the line?
You draw the line that when it comes to like actual sexuality, actual gender understanding and things like that, you don't put it in stories that have anything to do with sexuality. You would just swap out a mom for a mom or swap out a dad for a dad.
I just don't see why it's even why we have to even swap out anything. Just make the damn stories.
I don't know.
Just like
I like it. I like the idea of it.
The thing is, we didn't do it for divorces. When
divorce we didn't, and we should have. Maybe we should have.
And did it hurt anybody to not do it?
We don't know. We didn't try doing it the other way either. But if this is our option, right? If these crazy books being in there are our option, what I'm saying is that if this side wants all this, right? We can't be on this side going, none at all. Screw you. We're not doing anything for you. We're not doing anything with LGBT. We're not. There's got to be a middle where even if you don't like the idea, you're caving a little, and we're doing
I won't cave in it, because to me it's something that I'm like, what I think we're raising an issue that is not even an issue to these kids. We're making it seem like there's an issue.
I don't think it's an issue, but I do like if there's representation for these kids not to feel like they're the odd one out. More books about kids that live with their grandparents, more books. Honestly, like for me, I would have loved a book about kids in foster care. I would have liked to feel like I wasn't this weird freak that didn't have, you know what I mean? Like,
so wait a minute.
I think that books
are wanting to put everybody in a box then.
No, I'm not.
What's wrong with being different?
There isn't anything wrong with being different.
If there's no thing being different, then why do we have to cater to everybody? Because that's putting everybody in a box.
I don't think that representing a certain margin of people is catering. I don't. If you want it to be equal across the board, then you make it equal across the board. We're gonna agree to disagree on this one.
Oh, of course we are.
Now, am I super against all the other garbage that's going into the schools? Abso-freaking-lutely. Like I sat in Pickle's school board meeting the other night, and they read pages from a book that was in the library, and like it made me feel a type of way listening to this thing get read. It was like hardcore porn, like not even a little bit okay.
Right.
And even then, they were willing to meet in the middle, which was crazy to me because, like, I wouldn't, like, I'm all about meeting in the middle, but there's some things that I'm like, I can't be a part of this conversation because I can't, just because of my own beliefs. But they were like, at least put it in the damn adult section where it's 18 and up or with parental consent. And I was like, I feel like that's a pretty fair fucking compromise. I don't know what the resolve was because the weird thing about that school board meeting is that people could make comments, but the school board didn't respond back to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think is odd, but
then they censored it because the book was read out loud.
Did they censor it like after the fact?
Well, there was one, I don't know if it's the same one, but there was one where they ended up censoring it because they read the book. It's like, but you're saying this is okay for fifth graders or whatever?
Well, that's like Project Veritas. They made the video today where they caught up with that dean going into the school. And he was like, do you think that it was appropriate for you to hand out dildos to your students? You were laughing and joking about these kids. And the parents were like, why are you can't talk. We have kids out here. And those are the kids that he's giving. What?
Right.
So I feel like to some parents, like it's okay because they're not like listening to it. They're not realizing like if it sounds offensive to you and it makes you uncomfortable, why do you want your kid to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And their Pickles district is beyond fucked because then there was like another heartbreaking story afterwards about their special needs program and the fact that they don't have anybody that's qualified. They don't have any teaching assistants. They're pulling teachers. It's sad. It's sad. Those kids are not being taken care of in that district with the special needs program. I mean, none of them really are in their own way, but it was just, but yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't want there to be any confusion that just because like I think it's okay for books like that doesn't mean like there's a middle area and that's kind of where I chill in. Like, I'm like, hey, but that's wrong. Like, I remember like people used to get charges pressed on them for talking about sex to kids.
Right.
And now we're handing out butt plugs and dildos. Like, where did we go wrong? But I feel like a lot of it is because some of us weren't willing to meet in the middle. So it just got more and more extreme. And now it's all that we're left with.
Kids is where I draw the line. There's not much middle for me.
Kids is where I draw the line too.
Yeah.
Having two moms in a fucking kindergartner book doesn't mean I'm not for the kids.
I'm not saying you're not. That's just where I draw the line. I just don't think that it needs to be brought up at all. Like if it's part of their family, then their family deals with it. But why make it weird for the other side too?
Because it's weird for them. So why can't it just be weird across the board?
Okay. We're agreeing to disagree.
Agreeing to disagree.
I'm just not willing to meet in the middle when it comes to kids for like that.
And that's fine. I mean, like there's issues that I'm not willing to meet in the middle on. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Look it.
Well, send us off with something positive now.
I thought, why don't you? Don't you have anything?
I don't have anything positive in today's America. Not today, like
when something that I said earlier today, and I was like, is that denial? And I don't care if it is. I feel like sometimes you have to go and make your own reality for a little bit. If this reality is getting to be a little bit too much for you, to where you are going crazy on people who don't think and act like you, it might be time to take a step back and create your own little happy reality for a little bit of time. You can walk away from politics. It's not going to be the end of the world. You can walk away for a little bit. Other people have that handled. They're yelling and screaming about it. Take your minute. But when it starts making you who you hate, it's time to take a step back. And I think a lot of people need to hear that one. That's also call out content on TikTok doesn't mean calling everybody out for farting wrong and liking people's videos. And like, y'all are wiling out over there. I'm seeing it on Twitter and Instagram now. You need to calm down. Calm down, TikTok.
I'm just glad I'm not part of it.
Oh God. Like I was
You know
talking to
what?
my therapist today and I can go back earlier than like the 90 days. We were talking about that. I mean, I'm still gone for a long time, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to, bro. Like I'm all set. From what I can see on Instagram and Twitter, they're wilding out over there.
Yeah.
So I just say, let the motherfucker burn. And I guess we'll see where it's at when the rubble clears.
All right.
Okay.
With that said, we'll see y'all next Tuesday.
Bye.